When a local police officer reached the jet sitting in the middle of a snow-covered field, its engine was still running. The landing gear was up, the fuselage rested on the snow, and the cockpit was empty. The wings were intact. There was no pilot nearby, and nobody could explain how the military aircraft had arrived there. This happened on February 2, 1970, in Montana. First Lieutenant Gary Foust was flying an F-106 Delta Dart during an air combat training exercise. Without warning, the aircraft entered a flat spin. It rotated while losing altitude and barely responded to the controls. Gary tried to recover it and even deployed the aircraft's drag chute. Nothing worked. As the ground moved closer, he made the final decision and ejected. Descending beneath his parachute, Gary expected to watch the fighter crash below him, but a few seconds later, the aircraft stopped spinning. The ejection changed its weight, balance, and configuration. Air Force accounts say those changes apparently helped the jet recover. Now the empty fighter was flying by itself. Its engine was running, the landing gear was still retracted, and nobody was inside the cockpit. Gary could only watch as the aircraft stabilized, descended, and continued away from him, but it did not crash. The fighter approached a snow-covered field near Big Sandy, Montana, almost level. It touched down on its belly and slid across the snow. When the police officer reached it, the engine was still idling. Officials told him not to approach the running jet and to wait for the fuel to run out. That took about 1 hour and 45 minutes. The damage was limited enough for recovery crews to remove the aircraft from the field, repair it, and return it to Air Force service. It served for several more years before being transferred to the National Museum of the United States Air Force. It became known as the Cornfield Bomber. The name was strange. It was a fighter, the field was covered in snow, and its most famous landing happened with nobody at the controls.